Welcome back to my compost bins. So last time we did a flip from here to here and I showed you some basics of flipping. Now that stuff that I put in here is still in here. I would have flipped it a few times already back and forth, but I didn't get around to it. Life happens, sue me. But the great thing about the three bin system is it doesn't really matter. You can have it just sit here, and because it's aerated all around, there's holes everywhere. There's holes in the mesh back here. It gets air, and between the worms and the bacteria and other microbes, it's still compost, just not as fast as if you flip it a few times, which helps get more air in the pile. So it's still been going, just not as fast as I'd like it to go, but that's okay. So today what we're going to do is flip this pile into my done bin, even though it's not really done, but that's okay. And then we're going to flip the new stuff or newer stuff into here. My rationale for this is this stuff is almost done, and I'm going to need it. Well, needs a strong word. I'm going to want to use it in the garden in November so it can just overwinter in the garden. Now, like I said last time, this doesn't have to be 100% done. 90% is good enough. It can get the other 10% over the winter, and that's fine. But I'm not sure if it's quite ready. It's really up to my wife. She's the one that tells me if it's really good enough for her garden or not. I just do the work. So, ready? Here we go. First thing we do, take these guys off. And I can see already some newer stuff accidentally got tossed in here, and that's okay. Anytime there's anything that's not quite ready to go from one bin to the other, I just put it back in the newest bin. This is where all the new stuff's supposed to go anyway, so it's okay. I can shove things that, that's not ready. Just shove it back in the new bin. And the microbes and bacteria and everything that are on that, composting little bits anyway, gets over here and helps this pile go faster anyway, because you're introducing more composting goodness over here. So as you can tell, we have mostly leaf and grass mulch. There's some things that my wife threw in here from the gardens, but it's been mostly grass clippings and leaves. That's what we have so far this year. We're going to take down the garden, and then that's going to give us a whole different set of things. But what I'm hoping will happen is this will go into here. We're going to use this. If we don't, that's fine. We can use it in the spring. But we'll hopefully be able to use it. This will go into here, and this will keep growing with other things for the next month or so as we're still cutting grass and so forth. The takedown material is all going to go in here. Maybe we can mix the two a little bit, but we're going to have two bins then that are cooking for over winter. So that's the plan. Hopefully they can be tall enough and everything to be pretty self-insulating. And plus I'm going to insulate the edges and everything before that. So we'll see, but let's get on it. First thing we need, handy dandy pitchfork. Hopefully going from here to the other bin, I don't have to cut that much, clip that much like last time, because we did a lot of clipping already. But before we get too carried away, I forgot one thing that's kind of important. At least I think it's important. It is a mask. Again, I don't want to get farmer's lung or the 20 other things you can technically get. So here we go. You notice this was mostly grass. It's actually looking pretty decent. It's not horrible. It's my first year composting grass. And, as long as it's mixed in with other things, garden scraps or rather garden clippings, kitchen scraps, does pretty well. Looks a lot better than when we flipped it last time, huh? That's the part that hasn't really composted much. A lot of times the stuff on the outer edges won't compost very much. They don't get hot enough, I guess, or the worms don't want to be too close to the edge. So kind of have to take those parts and put them back towards the middle when flipping. But the stuff in the middle looks pretty good. Now this stuff is composted beautifully in here. Wow, let me actually move the camera over to get a better view. Hopefully this is better for you, for actually seeing what we're doing. So this stuff is pretty well composted already. But the stuff on the edges, like this, still got some grass in there. It's cooking. And that's okay. This one, so I like to take it, put it in the middle here, and try to surround it with all the already composted stuff. But then when I spread it around, it doesn't matter too much, but still. I'll take this, shove it around a little bit. As you can see, hopefully you can see, it's pretty decent looking compost so far. It's, you know, again, 90-95% done. We usually take down our garden in early November, meaning pull everything up. Nothing's left behind. And then it's just bare dirt. And that's the point at which we wanted to put this down. So hopefully by then this will be ready to go. And again, it doesn't have to be 100% for that because it'll still compost over winter a little bit. It'll still break down. But I still like it to be as far along as possible. And it's pretty well far along. Again, when we're ready to spread this stuff in the garden in November, you know, my wife can obviously, and she'll direct me to do a lot of this, but she'll take what's good, and anything's not good, we'll just throw back in one of these other bins. Usually the first bin, that's where all the new stuff goes. And it'll just help along whatever's in there. Ooh, what's this? A garden tag there, little, what was that? Cilantro. Yeah, we grew some cilantro. You notice there's not really much to cut up, but there's some. For instance, apparently we missed this last time. And this. That's okay. Shove that right back in the new pile. See some nice worms here on top. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but, you know, and there were some over there. And so this has kind of calmed down to where it's no longer a hot pile. It's back to more vermicompost. But, you know, it's still composting. Worms do a good job. Well, here's another one that didn't make it, so it goes in the new pile. Don't know if you can see this very well. Move the camera a little bit so you can see a little better. You know, it's hard to believe this was flipped, what, 3-4 weeks ago? And I didn't even flip it once since then, since the last video. This is just what it does on its own. As long as it's a good mix of greens and browns, you know, sunshine, air, which, you know, the vents here, rather over here, back here, you know, help keep where air can get in. It's been not too warm, but warm enough. Got a little bit of rain on it, but not too much rain. Hasn't been flooded. It's got nice moisture on it right now. It's nicely, it's not wet, but it's a little damp, which is what you want. All right, let's pull this guy up. And try to get as much as we can. Whoop. Now, of course, my wife, when she goes to use this stuff, she'll pick out things, you know, the longer pieces and stuff. But if I can get some of it too, that saves her some work. Some people make a grate like this for going to the dun pile rather. Let me show you. Of course, it has some spider webs growing on it. That's okay. Something like this, or some mesh right here. I made this where I could put it directly on top of a wheelbarrow and then dump from here directly on top of this, and it's like a sifter. It'll actually go like this, so it can sit in there and kind of sift it around. The problem is very little of it is actually big enough to, or small enough to go through these holes. So I haven't really used it. I tried it once and it failed miserably. So I don't know. Maybe I need to rebuild one with just bigger holes. You know, find some material that's 1 by 1 instead of half inch by half inch, have it be an inch by inch, you know, squares. That might do a better job. Then it can kind of filter out the sticks, things like that for you before you put it into the garden. But I don't know. You guys tell me. Do any of you guys filter like that? Use some sort of sifter before putting the compost directly into your garden? Thought I saw a piece of plastic. That might have just been sun off of like a wet leaf or something. I guess that just some sun. All right. Let's see. Yep, there's some sticks here. Throw that in the new pile. The new pile. And there's still some sticks that are getting in. That's fine. But if I see them and can easily get them, I'll take them out like that and shove them back into the new pile. Let's see. What's this one? It's like that right here. New pile. And new pile. Oop. Didn't quite make it. There we are. Now last time, because I wanted this to be perfectly clean when I got the new stuff in there, I don't know if you really need to do that. I used the leaf scoopers to clean the bottom, but it's actually kind of nice as well just to not clean it out perfectly, because you have all the stuff at the bottom that's still got a lot of those microorganisms and stuff. And when I put things from the new pile onto here, flip it into here, that's going to help out the new pile. So, you know, there are a lot of people that just don't clean out the bottom thoroughly for that reason. You know, it's good to leave a little ammo behind, a little gasoline, so to speak, for the fire of for the compost. And that's what this stuff at the bottom is. So I think I'm going to do that this time. Plus, it helps if you're lazy, like I am. You know, makes it where you don't have to do as much work. I take these branches here, throw them in the new pile, or sticks rather, not branches. And that's it. And that is it. We just flipped. Remember how long it took us to do that in the last video? I don't know in reality, but a lot of that was cutting too. And that's that. So now let's go over here. Whoop, what's that? So now that's our done compost, our done pile, so to speak. It's not done. I mean, obviously, there's sticks like this and stuff that you could pick some of the obvious ones out. You know, like this wouldn't actually make its way into the garden. And we just cleaned this one out. Leave a little bit of residue on the bottom. I'm not going to do the leaf scooper thing again. Then here's the pile of the new stuff. So this is where, let me readjust the camera. Okay, here we are. We have the done piles kind of done. I can even put the sides on it. Ah! Oops. By the way, if you want to know how in the world I made these sides, just, you know, have a little spacer board in between a couple of 1x6s, a couple of 1x4s here, screw it on to keep the spacing right, and also where they overhang a little bit like this, so that when they go on top of the other board, you know, they leave a space. So that way they stay evenly spaced. All right, let's get to this guy. Oh, but I see, yep, right away. Let's do a quick clipping. Just like last time. Can't get any lapping shears. Again, it's always best to cut things up before you put them in the compost pile. But we have a lot of division of labor. And sometimes it's not really someone's job to cut it up. It's more, hey, just dump it over here and I'll deal with it. I'll be the compost guy. So I end up being left with the cutting duties on the back end. Better to do it on the front end, not the back end, but that's okay too. This works. Whoop. Let me put my rail back over here. Bottom rails, by the way, don't come out as often. I made it larger, similar. It's just 3 of them, 3 1x6s, and a longer board. There you go. And I think I put some banana peels and other kitchen scraps in here earlier today. This is all pretty leaf intense right now, or leaf intensive. Very light and fluffy. That white smoke right there is, I forget what it's called, where the grass is composting. And that's I forget the name of the bacteria. But that's all through here right now because it's a lot of leaves and they were cooking. I think also the last time we dumped the leaves in here, they were dumped directly on top of the thermometer. But, so we're probably going to find our thermometer in here somewhere. Again, division of labor. Well, that's a little too long. Let me take care of that real quick. Back to it. Oh, look at that banana peel right there on the shovel. Boop, boop. And some, it's like spinach or, no, that's not spinach. It's just some leaf. Some other leaf. All right, it's definitely some stuff that got thrown in here recently. It's on top. Stuff in the middle is a little denser. So this will be good. Light, fluffy, stuff will get more compacted. All these leaves. Oh, that's a lot of leaves. Holy moly, it's almost like pure leaf compost. Very little in the way of grass. There we go, there's some grass there. You can see the white smoke come up. There we go. See the white on the leaves. Forget the name of it. Probably put it on the screen right around now. That's what that is. At least that's what I think it is. I really don't care. It's basically the stuff that's breaking down the grass and the leaves. So it's a friend of mine as long as I don't breathe it in. Thus the mask. People put some whole tomatoes in here. As long as they're buried far enough down, it's fine. If they're towards the top, they could actually sprout. But this time of year, it's not going to happen. But it could be next year. Could have some tomato plants sprouting from our compost. That's okay. We'll just pick them out. Not a big deal. Things grow in compost all the time. You just pick them out, throw them back in the new pile. You know, no big deal. Oh, this is just a lot of leaves. Let's see if I can stuff towards the back a little bit. All the white stuff. Let me move the camera down so you can have a better view there. See, the white stuff is that stuff that's breaking down the grass and the leaves and everything. That is the whatever bacteria. That's a lot of leaves. Let's get some grass in there. Oh, there's a thermometer. There she is. What's she reading? Buried in there. 85, 86, something like that. Oops. Something like that. Found her. That's nice. Yeah, I think we need to do good for leaves for now. I don't think we need to put more leaves in here right now. We have these yard guys that come and cut our grass for us because I'm lazy and they can do it really, really quick because they have all the right equipment. They just zoom, 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 and they're done. I've been telling them, hey, take the grass clippings and everything, put them in here, but I think the last time they did it, last couple times apparently we have more leaves than grass. So, gotta tell them, don't do that next time. Instead, we'll just get them to run their lawnmowers over the leaves a bunch of times, mulch them up really good, then I'll put those in my aluminum cans over here. Can use them through the winter. But still, leaves will compost. Just on their own, not very quickly. Have to mix them with greens. And it seems like we're out of whack here. Too many browns. So it'll take a long time, but here are some greens. And we can always add more. There's the bacteria. Well, one good thing about a lot of browns, though, is that I'm not really smelling the ammonia smell anytime. Because the cure for that is usually add more browns. And this is pretty much nothing but browns. So, that's good. Doesn't stink. Pitchfork probably isn't the best job for the leaves. Maybe I should just use the leaf scoopers for the leaves. But that's okay. It does good enough of a job. Hadn't really paid attention to the new pile. This is way too many leaves. But yeah, I did say in the last video I needed more leaves this year. I got them. That's not a problem now. So be careful what you wish for. You might just receive it. But that's okay. The cool thing about compost is as long as it's organic, it will break down. Just some things are better than others. Like you don't want meat. You know, meat can be organic, but that can attract all kinds of things you don't want. You know, coyotes and flies and maggots and yucky stuff. Same thing, you don't want dairy. That can attract all kinds of yucky stuff. So any vegan type stuff, you're pretty good. Anything that doesn't come from an animal, unless it's poop from a vegan animal, then you're okay. Chicken poop, cow poop, things like that are great for compost. But this will break down, it will work. And now, you know, if nothing else, I'll definitely have, by the end of the season, between this, more grass clippings and things to come, and all the garden takedown, we're going to have at least 2 of these bins full, and each of these bins are 42 inches cubed. So it's about 1.5 cubic yards each. I think my grass guys might have just shown up. That's convenient. I could talk to them about putting this stuff in there. Yeah, sure enough, they're here. They're supposed to come tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I'll show you the forecast. So they're cutting the grass now. So I'm going to stop this now because they probably don't want to get filmed. So I will resume this to show you the results when done. So they're still cutting the grass. I just want to show you, I finished up real quick. I'm going to leave this one to be a little, you know, have a little base on it, help out the new stuff we put in. This is the stuff we just flipped from the new pile to the middle pile. It's mostly leaves, some grass, some kitchen scraps, but I don't expect it to do too much, so I'm probably going to have to mix these two a little bit. We'll see. This is the done pile from the stuff we did in the video last time around. It's actually looks pretty darn good. I think it's ready to spread. It definitely will be ready to spread by November. So there we go. The first pile will be a takedown of the garden over there, along with some more grass clippings and whatnot. But it seems this time of year it's getting to be fall. You can see we have a lot of trees. It's gonna be a lot of leaves as well. So we'll have to blow the leaves. And anyway, well, that's my problem. That's it. That's it for this time. Hopefully make another video for actually getting this thing ready to be winterized. This is a quick follow-up. This is the next day after doing the flip, and here's the thermometer reading. Not sure if you can read that or not. A little over 140 degrees. I wasn't expecting that. That's a pretty hot pile, just from flipping yesterday. That's awesome. So apparently the mix, I thought it was too many leaves. Apparently I was wrong. It's a pretty good mix. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Cheers!